I have a rule in my book, which is Rule 8. It says, tell the truth, or at least don't lie. And it's really the last part of that, I think, that's better because, well, what the hell do you know about the truth? The truth is a very complicated thing. But people can tell when they're speaking deceitfully. You can tell now and then that what you're saying is actually a lie. It's a very good idea not to do that. There's a deep idea that's embedded in the biblical corpus, what would you call the narrative foundation of our culture. And the idea, it's laid out in Genesis, two fundamental ideas. And one is that whatever God is the force that uses truthful speech to transform chaos into habitable order. That's the fundamental idea, and that order is good. If truthful speech is used to generate the order, then the order is good. That's proposition number one. Proposition number two is human beings are made in the image of that power. And those propositions are correct, like they're correct metaphorically, they're correct psychologically, they're correct on multiple levels of analysis simultaneously. And so if you lie, then you warp the structure of reality. We know this. This isn't some metaphysical doctrine. The great scholars of the totalitarian systems of the 20th century, whether they were on the right or the left, point very, very directly to a relationship between the individual's willingness to subvert their own speech and to speak known lies and the totalitarian excesses of the state. Those two things are directly related causally.
Truth is better, but you talked about the postmodern, I'm speaking my truth.
There is individual truths. There's no doubt about that. I mean, you have your own experience and you can relate that in a way that's unique to you, but that doesn't mean that we don't have to inhabit a truth that's universal simultaneously, because otherwise we can't stay in the same place at the same time. There has to be an overarching conceptual framework that we all agree on, or we can't exist peacefully. So if you don't want us to exist peacefully, then you can demolish the overarching framework and let everyone revert to their own personal truth. But all that means is chaos. You can't even run a household that way. I mean, you have your desires and what you need in your household, and so does your wife and the rest of your family members, but you have to engage in continual dialogue to organize that into something that's collectively inhabitable.
Not if I'm speaking my truth.
Well, you try that with your wife and see how far that goes. So it doesn't work locally or familially or socially. It's a form of narcissism to make that claim.
And you say some people are scared now to speak up.
Comedians won't go and play on university campuses anymore.
So what do we do about that?
I know what I did about it. I said I wasn't going to partake in it, But I think what you do to some degree in your workplace and wherever you are is you consult your own resentment. You will be asked to operate privately and productively under strictures that you can't really tolerate, that make you angry, bitter, resentful, out for revenge, because you're not allowed to exist in the manner that you know is appropriate. You have to repress that and shrink away. It makes people very angry and bitter. And so you have to decide when people put unreasonable strictures on your behavior, whether or not you're going to put up with it and shrink, or whether you're going to take the risk of saying something and push back against that encroaching, let's call it politically correct tyranny.